Can you hear me?
share? Do you learn by using the laptop? Can you share your screen?
Yes, I can share my screen.
Okay.
Wait, I'm doing it offline. I write it down, but I do not do it on the laptop.
Okay, no. So you can share the board and the whiteboard, and you can write for us. Okay.
Share screen. Wait, how can I share my screen? Whiteboard. Yes, yes. Share. I think the bit rate is. Wait, let me see the. Can I just talk because I don't remember the. Em nhớ đề bài thầy ạ.
Please you. Please stop sharing. I will share the screen again, and please take a picture.
Yes, yes, yes. What?
So, everyone, please take a picture before we moving on.
It's with me.
Finish.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead.
Let me check.
how to explain the arbitrage opportunity.
I'm sure. I mean, I think it's hold on. Let me.
Okay, everyone please check the answer in the question A. Is this correct? We have the bit rate for Japanese yen against VND 178.57 and the offer rate 178.79. Okay. And question B. Question B, the arbitrage opportunity. What is the arbitrage opportunity here?
I think it's a difference between it's a offer minus bid is a difference between exchange rate. I think it is.
What kind of the difference? The difference between what and what?
Difference between the offer rate and the bid rate.
What kind of bid rate? What are the bid rate? What are the offer rate? The bid rate and offer rate, you mentioned the rate you just compute,
Yes.
or the rate on the market.
Offer rate is the rate that the bank want to want to sell their currency, and the bid rate is the price that the bank want to buy the currency.
But on which bank?
Quoting bank.
Okay, thank you, but please keep the sharing here. I want to use that. Okay.
Yeah.
I think question A, the result in question A is correct, right? Please have a check. For question B, so who can answer the question B? What is the arbitrage opportunity here? Who can explain the arbitrage opportunity in the question B? Please. Any ideas? Any ideas for the arbitrage opportunity? What is the arbitrage of? What is the arbitrage? The arbitrage means you buy in one market at the low price, right? And you sell in another market at a higher price. That is the arbitrage. Okay. In here, what time just compute is the cross rate on the real-term market. But from the question 1, we have the two markets, the real-term markets and the commercial bank X. Okay. You can stop the screen now. Okay, thank you. I will come back with. Okay, question 1. In the sub-question 1, you compute the cross rate on the real-term market, right? And then we know the information of the Japanese yen against VND in the two markets, one on the real-term market, the other on the commercial bank market. Okay. And the idea of the arbitrage opportunity is you need to compare to see whether the arbitrage opportunity exists or not. You need to compare whether the price or the exchange rate in one market is lower than the other. Okay, how to do that? From question 1, we have on the router, we have the exchange rate of Japanese yen against Vietnamese dong, right? 180.78. Okay. So this is the rail on the router, right? The exchange rate on the router. Let's see as.
Hey, teacher, I write the bit rate wrong. It's 178.53.
You write the comma. Yes, I see that.
537. The bit rate.
The bit rate is
178.537.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes.
Thank you. For the commercial acts, we have the information.
To process this. I bet everyone else does too.
You think? Hey, I know why Cecil's holding us at high alert.
Okay, how? Please. You show me whether the arbitrage opportunity occurs or not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I use Zoom in my phone, so I can't share with you. But I think I can talk to you.
Yes. I already put on the bot. Can you see the bot?
Yeah, I can see. But as I said,
explain. Okay.
I'm sorry. I use Zoom in my phone, so I can write it. So I think I can talk to you. So I think the
Yes.
arbitrage. Oh yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think the arbitrage opportunity here is that I will buy the offer at the first one that time. Just calculate the offer. The offer rate is 178.79, and
Okay.
then I will sell it at the bid rate at the second at the 178.81. I think that is the arbitrage opportunity. So it is. Take a minute. I will take the calculation. So the arbitrage opportunity here is 0.02.
Okay, thank you. That's the profit for each Japanese transaction. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you so much. You are right. Okay. So in here, after you compute the cross rate, so you need to compare the exchange rate between the two markets. If you find out the offer rate in one market is less than the bid rate in another, so that exists the arbitrage opportunity. So in here, the offer rate in the router market is less than the bid rate in the commercial buying acts. Okay, so the arbitrage opportunity occurs. So for the arbitrage operation, you buy Japanese yen in router. Okay, and you need to pay for each Japanese yen you buy. You need to pay this amount, Vietnamese dong. Okay, this is the first step, and then you sell Japanese yen in the commercial bank X. Okay, and you receive this amount. Okay, because you sell the Japanese yen, and Japanese yen in here is the commodity, and the commercial bank X is the quoting bank. So they buy the commodity currency, so they just pay you the bid rate. And for X Japanese yen trading, you receive 0.02 VND for profits, right? So that is the arbitrage opportunity. Question 3. Question 3. Show the business result by drawing a table of cash flow. So how to show the business result by using a table? Okay, let's see. This is the arbitrage opportunity. Okay. This is the answer for question B. Okay, next for question C. In order to show the business result, we use a following table. So we have the 5 column. The first column is the direction. The second column, we have the first one is the flow of the Japanese yen. The second one is flow of the USD. The third one is the flow of the VNG. And the last column is the exchange rate information. Okay, so the arbitrage opportunity here is we trade the Japanese yen in the two markets, in the realtor and in the bank X. Okay, so in the market, we buy Japanese yen, but in the market we don't have the Japanese yen against VND, right? We have not yet this. Okay, but we can compute the rule using the USD. So that's why in here that appears the flow of the USD. Okay, and in the question C, we combine like the trading with the cross rate. Okay, the cross rate when we apply the table method. So in the first transaction, we buy the Japanese yen in the market, in the realtor market. Okay, and we pay USD. And in the exchange rate of the USD and Japanese yen, USD is the commodity currency. Okay, we buy Japanese yen and we pay to the bank or to the market the USD. In other words, the market will buy the USD, the commodity currency. So that's why we apply the bid rate in the exchange rate of the USD against Japanese yen. In the second transaction, okay, in order to obtain the USD, okay, for those in the first transaction, we need to buy the USD, and in return we pay by using the VND. And in the exchange rate of the USD and VND. USD, the commodity currency. Okay, so in this in the second transaction, the customer or the client buy the commodity currency, or the bank or the market will sell the commodity currency. So that's why I apply the option rate. Okay. After we buy the WN, we bring to the bank X, and we sell to the bank X. Okay, and at the bank X, they quote the exchange rate of WN against VND, and in the exchange rate of WN and VND, WN is the commodity currency, and at the bank X, the customer sell the WN. In other words, the bank X will buy a commodity currency, so the bank will apply or will pay at the bid rate. Okay, so finally, in the last row, the profits, we have the 0 for WN and USD, and we have the positive value of the VND. For X WN trading, the arbitrator will obtain 0.02 VND for profits. So that's the result for sub-question C. The last one. What happens when the exchange rate arbitrator comes into play? Any idea? For question C, what happened when the arbitrage opportunity occurs, when the exchange rate arbitrator comes into play? In here, we apply the supply and demand curve, okay, to interpret. So when the arbitrator comes into play, so they make the transaction in the realtor market and in the bank X market, right? So what happened to the exchange rate in this market? We can see that in this arbitrage opportunity, the arbitrator will buy WN in the realtor markets, right? So there is more there's an increase in the demand for WN, right? And they bring the amount of the WN and to buy or to sell in the bank X. So there's an increase in the supply of the WN in the bank X, right? So in the realtor markets, there's an increase in the demand of the WN. So what happened when the demand of the products or the demand of the currency increase? you draw the demand and supply curve. And when the demand for products or currency increase, it shift the demand curve to the right, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, it shift the demand curve. In the real-term market, it shift the demand curve at the Japanese end in the right. So that's increase in the exchange rate in the real-term market, right? Right? And
Yes.
at the bank X, there's an increase in the supply of the Japanese yen. So it shift the supply curve to the right, and it's reduced the exchange rate in the bank X market, right? Right? So this process happen, okay, or continue to occur until the offer rate in the real-term markets is equal to the bid rate in the bank X market. So at that point, the arbitrage opportunity disappear. Okay, so we don't have the arbitrage opportunity anymore. Okay, so that the way we interpret question 4. And but please remember that there's a decrease in the real-term markets. No, there's an increase in the real-term markets, the exchange rate in the real-term markets, and meanwhile there is a decrease in the bank X market. According to your opinion, which one is faster? Which one is faster? The process or the change of the exchange rate in the real-term markets or in the bank X is faster? Any ideas?
I think the one in the bank X is faster. It's faster because the market in the bank X is smaller, so the rate in the bank X it will change much faster than the router.
Okay, thank you. Totally correct. Okay, the speed of change in the bank X is faster, much faster. Okay, because the size of the bank X market is quite small. Okay, in the realtor is the market is very huge, like just the drop of water in the ocean. Okay, so usually we can see that the exchange rate in the bank X converts to the exchange rate in the market, in the real-term markets. Okay, the exchange rate in the bank X converts to the exchange rate in the real-term markets. Okay, that's for question 1. We have question 2. We have several questions for practice, and I have a list of questions I already upload on the Google Classroom, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So please, for your homework, please do question 2 and question 3.
Ông Mai ơi, bà có thể làm hộ cháu cái canh rong muống được không ạ? Vâng. Canh chua chua
Question
của bà
2,
ấy.
question 3.
Canh chua chua kiểu của bà ấy.
And we have another types of question. Let me show you.
Tí bà sử dụng nào?
Can you see the slide I share? Okay, for the homework, please do the question 2 question 3, okay. And in question 3, so we have the first, we need to compute the gross rate of the 3 exchange rate. And something that is new to you is show the option for calculating the company income in Vietnamese đồng. And so for the export and import company, they may, when they export, they may receive the currency in one currency, but when they import, they may have to pay in another currency. So they need to transfer from one currency in another. Okay, so they have the different option or alternative option to compute the income if it's a positive. But sometimes when the cost is higher, or the value of the import is higher, the value of the export. So we have the cost for the company. So please think about and do the question 3 and question 5. Okay. So in the next meeting, we practice with question 3 and 5 or 5 before moving to the new chapter. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we today we stop now.